All right, so basically, what we're doing here is for those who know LeetCode, I'm sure most of you do, you're going to have to navigate to leetcode.com if you're working independently. Um, Give me a minute. Okay, so once you log in to LeetCode, go to the contest, and then we're doing the weekly contest. It starts in 5 minutes. Click that. There's a bunch of information here that you can read. There's prizes to be won. You earn some points if you score high. But the most important thing that always stands out to me is the penalty of 5 minutes will be applied for each wrong submission. So if you go ahead and you submit a solution to one of the problems and it's wrong, they're going to tack on 5 minutes to your final time. And some of the people finishing this competition, they finish in like 15, 20, 25 minutes. They're fast. So if you submit 4 incorrect solutions, that's automatically 20 minutes on top of your total time. If you have 20 minutes, now you're at 40 minutes and there's no chance of competing. So make sure your solutions are correct before submitting. And then just go all the way to the bottom, click on register now, click on register, and you should be good to go. When the contest starts, you're going to see the problem list right here. There's an easy, there's 2 mediums, and there's a hard. It's been a while, so if I solve the easy and the first medium, I'll be happy. And then usually we have at least a few people who are solving the second medium and the hard sometimes, so it's cool to see those solutions. And then after the competition, we'll go ahead and we'll share solutions. So you're going to be able to see solutions in different programming languages that you don't use. And you're also going to be able to see solutions in the same programming language that you use, but different solutions than the ones you would have come up. So it's like a double whammy as far as learning goes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create 1.js for the first problem here. I'm also going to create a live share link. So I'm going to be coding in JavaScript tonight. And if you want to join me and work with me, then you could hop into my code editor. I'm going to post a link in the chat. So this is to hop into my code editor. You can see we're all in the co-working space. There's 3 icons on the right. We have open chat, we have create invite, we have edit channel. Click on open chat and you'll see the chat open up on the right, and then you could go ahead and click that link right there. This tool right here is one of the best tools I've ever used. If you go to extensions, type in live share, and you'll see this is the tool we're using, live share. It was created by Microsoft, 18 million downloads. And it's basically like everybody's used Google Docs. If you're sharing a Google Doc link with somebody, you hop into the Google Doc, you make changes to the Google Doc, and anyone else who's in the Google Doc sees the changes happening in real time. If they make changes on their end, you see the Google Doc changing in real time. So it's a really great collaborative tool. That's what we're going to use. So feel free to just click the link, pop into my code editor, and when I start coding, you'll actually see the code popping up on your screen as well. I'm gonna be doing JavaScript. Usually, I'm thinking of multiple different solutions and thinking through which one is the best. I'm not really in a rush usually. I'm just taking my time, seeing what people think about solution. We write up the pseudocode, and then we go ahead and we code up the solution. Is there anyone who doesn't want to code in JavaScript? And what language are you going to be coding in? And does anyone
I'll
have
be
any
using
questions
F
about what
sharp.
I just said? What's up?
I'll be using F sharp.
F sharp?
Wait, F sharp?
Yeah.
Wait.
So
What,
rare, right?
what happened?
No, I'm like trying to see if I even remember what that is.
Oh, F sharp is functional programming of .NET family.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's one I've not heard anyone code in before.
I only know one other person who uses F sharp from all the people I've met in the last few years. Only one other person.
I'm sorry for that.
No, that's good. I've actually never seen F sharp code, so when you share your solutions at the end, that's going to be super beneficial for everybody. Because how often do you get to see F sharp code? So It's actually a blessing. Thank you.
It's not my fault if you fall in love with it.
What's the wackiest language that's available in LeetCode?
What do you mean by wackiest?
I don't know. Just wackiest.
I don't know. That's a good question.
Because I know they have a lot. I don't know what compiler they use for C, but theoretically you could do inline assembly if you wanted to.
Oh my goodness,
That might be pretty
sounds
wacky.
so tedious.
Oh, that would be absolutely terrible.
Oh, I'd be lucky if I finished the easy
Oh,
problem.
Elixir?
It'd probably take me a few months to finish the easy problem.
Oh, they opened the contest, by the way.
Okay, cool. All right, Ivan, you're gonna be working independently on F Sharp.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Anyone else coding in any other languages that want to work in a group?
I'm probably gonna be in Rust, but I'm just kind of vibing. I'm not really taking much of it seriously, so I'm probably just gonna stay here
Cool, same.
instead of like listen back, like work on my stuff, maybe listen to your guys'. I don't know.
Cool. All right, let's see if there's even anyone popping. All right, so we got Dudeverse popped into my code editor. I'll wait for a few other people to pop in to my code editor before we get started if people are coding along with me. Surya, what's going on, man?
Yeah, so I just joined your live share, and I would rather write a pseudocode for all the problems today. And um, can I write it in a different file, like in a new file, like other than yours? So I can work on mine, and you can work on yours, and we can like
Oh,
bounce
yeah.
back ideas
You
and
wanna
stuff.
you wanna hop into the code editor and we'll just create like a separate pseudocode.js for you.
Yeah,
All right, yeah,
yeah.
that works. That's cool.
All right.
And then let's see, Anton, what's going on?
Hey, just joined.
How are you?
Like trying to configure Docker for our project.
Oh, nice. How's that
Oh,
going?
wait.
I've done pretty everything, but need to fix some errors just to double test that. But yeah, in general, almost everything is done.
Nice. I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, I just need to test like hot reload and like that kind of things, and to write readme and make file to make a life of other devs more
Mm,
tiny and easy.
nice. Cool. What language do you do the competition in?
Um, Usually I do that in PHP or in Golang, but for now maybe I will try JS.
Cool.
I've made great progress in JS last week, so I could try with JS maybe.
Awesome. Cool. Feel free to hop into my code editor if you want to
Or
code.
TS, I don't know if it's possible to do that in TS or only JS.
I think there's TypeScript
Yeah, we
and
have
JavaScript.
TypeScript. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. TypeScript is cool.
Let's see. Do we have anyone new here? Asana, what's going on? The contest did start though, so if you're working independently, feel free to deafen your headphones, mute your mic, and just go ahead and start solving the problems. I want to make sure everybody's good.
Where do I see the start button? Because it says 1 hour contact has start. Okay, but where can I start this?
So just click on the first problem. If you scroll to the bottom, you should see the problems.
Oh, problem list. Okay.
Yeah.
Do we need to solve all of them?
No, you don't have to. Just do your best.
Okay.
Yeah. Asana, what's going on? If you're trying to figure out how to unmute your microphone, on the bottom left, there's a microphone button. Feel free to just unmute and say, hey, Big Nate, welcome back. Electron, what's up? Is this your first time here? Okay, well, Asana and Electron, I think you two are the only new people. Feel free to hop into my code editor if you want to use JavaScript. Otherwise, feel free to choose the language of your choice. I went over what the contest is, so just go to LeetCode, click the contest, click the weekly contest, and register, and then you'll see the problems pop up, and you should be good to go. There's an easy, 2 mediums, a hard, and just do your best. We'll share solutions at the end. It looks like you guys don't have microphones that work, so if you want to share your solutions, feel free to just share them through code. If you're looking at my screen, you can see if you do backtick, 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 the name of your language, and then so you could actually get it to print out as code right here in the chat by just doing 3 backticks, your language, the code, and then 3 backticks. So pretty cool feature for those who don't have mics. And then cool, Omar, what's up, man?
Oh, Omar, you're here.
Hi everyone, I'm happy to be here. I will use JavaScript.
Cool, cool. All right, then we'll get started. Let me go ahead and just copy this code into my code editor so we have something to test with.
The first problem is interesting.
It seemed hard at the beginning, but then
I think it's just a math problem.
it's easier than it looked like.
I'm pretty sure you could. Well, no, I'm making it hard on myself because you can totally do this
Yeah.
in constant time.
I
you
know
could
it.
just, yeah, you could just back solve the equation, you know.
Yeah, I know. I was telling myself Josh will think about how to make it math problem.
Oh yeah.
I haven't even read it yet. Hold up.
Let me know if you hear my keywords matching, so I can mute myself.
The problem is that my brain is fried, and the solution here is just tedious math, not necessarily like super difficult math.
All right, maximum height of a triangle. You're given 2 integers, red and blue, representing the count of red and blue colored balls. You have to arrange these balls to form a triangle such that the first row will have 1 ball, the second row will have 2 balls, and the third row will have 3 balls, and so on. All the balls in a particular row should be the same color, and adjacent rows should have different colors. Return the maximum height of the triangle that can be achieved. Okay, so the first problem, we have 4 blue, 2 red. It's always just going to be red and blue, right? Output's going to be 3. All right. And then we have the second,
Oh, right.
2 red, 1 blue, with an output of 2. The only possible arrangement is shown above. The third one, 1 red, 1 blue, output 1. And, okay. So if there's 10 red and 1 blue, you're limited. The only possible arrangement is shown above. And then our constraints are red and blue. The integers that are passed into the function are going to be anywhere from 1 to 100. All right. So we're limited by the minimum, right?
Yes.
Let me look at these examples. So 2 is the minimum. One is the minimum. 1 is the minimum. 1 is the minimum. All right. So is it as simple as just finding the minimum, checking if the other color is equal to the minimum? Let me think.
I've got an approach I can say it if you would like, or I can hold back if you guys want to figure it out.
Yeah, let me just think this through. Does you have a working solution already?
I don't have one I don't have it coded up, but I have something that mathematically makes sense.
But you know the solution. All right, yeah, feel free to go ahead and share it. Are you in the code?
So-
No. Okay.
So my idea is that there's actually a really nice formula for the sum of the first like n numbers. It's called like the triangle numbers if you want to look it up. But the formula is like a very simple like n times n plus 1 over 2. There's something related for the sum of like the first even numbers, for the like the first such and such even numbers and the sum of the first such and such odd numbers.
You said
And my
n
idea is
times n plus 1 divided by 2.
yeah. The n plus 1 is in parentheses. So that's like the sum of the first n. No, not the n squared. The n plus 1 is in parentheses.
The one in the middle.
Yeah. So there's also similar formulas for the sum of the first n even numbers and the sum of the first n odd numbers. And the idea would be to do that backwards for the red and the blue. Basically be like, okay, like how many rows could you go if you stacked up like even numbers of blues? How many rows could you get if you stacked up even numbers of reds? How many rows could you get if you stacked up odd numbers of like odd rows of blue, odd rows of red, and then you basically pick whichever one gives you the maximum, like the max minimum. That makes sense. So like because you need even numbers of red and odd numbers of blue, or even numbers of blue and odd numbers of red.
We did something similar to this a while ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So you're saying this formula right here is part of the solution?
Yeah. I'm sort of thinking on the fly, so it's ultimately that is not actually the formula you want to use. There's a different formula for the sum of evens and a different formula for the sum of odds that's different that you'd probably use instead. Sorry if this is not making any sense.
No,
So, like,
you're
following it while I'm explaining it.
you're good. Yeah, I wish you were in the code editor so you could type it out and
Yeah, I have like VS Codium, which is like the un-Microsoft version of VS Code, and that doesn't let you do the extension, so I have to like download VS Code again and then install it, and then like connect to it, which I could do.
let's see. So if we have, I'm gonna go ahead and just think out loud here as well. Just jot down a couple of notes. If the first ball is blue, what is the max height? If the first ball is red, what is the max height? Return max. Who did this here?
It's me.
Omar.
Yeah, because you have one of two options, either to start with a blue ball or with red ball, and you simulate the process to the end, and you figure out what you get maximum if you start with the blue or with the red.
Does it matter if you start with the blue or the red, or does it matter more about the minimum? Because minimum is just screaming at me right now. Because if you have like two reds, for example, what's the maximum that this thing can be if the minimum is 2? The
No, I
maximum
think
is 3, right?
it's depend on which ball you start, because no matter what you want, like for example, look to example 2. If the first ball was red, the maximum height will be 1 because you cannot stack 2 blue. But if the first ball is blue, then the second row you can put 2 red balls, so you can reach to height 2.
Does it matter which one you start with, though?
Yeah, actually this was Josh's idea. Like, he want to calculate to stack either the blue or red and figure out which stack will be higher. So I think what matter is what you start with.
Yeah. Well, you're always gonna start with the one that has more, right?
Not sure, because I will try to start with because the constraint is only 100. I will calculate what the max height if I start with blue, and what the max height if I start with red, and then like return the maximum.
Well, let's assume. Yeah. Do you have a working solution?
It's almost done.
I feel like it's simpler than it really is. Let's see. I'm assuming that the minimum is 2 and the other one is 100. The maximum we'll ever be able to do is 3, right? So if the minimum is 3 and the other one is 100, what's the maximum we can make here? 3, right?
In the example, it looks like they start with blue and then red and then blue. So I'm trying to follow that pattern.
You're given all the balls in a particular row should be the same color in adjacent rows. So it doesn't say, yeah, because in this one they start with red. So it doesn't have to start with a particular color. I'm just trying to find the pattern, because once you see the pattern, then you could just determine the output by the minimum, I believe. So if we have 4 is the minimum, then still I believe your maximum height would be 3, right? Yeah, because if you put all 4 on the bottom,
what about putting the highest number as the one that's gonna have more balls? Like, that's a way to determine which one should start and end, because it's gonna have more balls.
What do you mean?
If you think about it, if you look at the sample in the first one, for example, I have a blue 1, 2 red, and 3 blue. So I have 4 blues. That's easy for me to determine that the blue must start and then have the most ball in the triangle.
You're not in the code editor either. You want to share your screen and go ahead and just kind of like draw out your idea?
Yeah, so for example, I haven't made a lot of progress, I'll be honest with you. It's just,
No, you're good.
because I've been like brainstorming, what am I gonna do? Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay, so you see that I have 1 triangle blue and then 2 red and then 3 blue. That's easy for me to determine which one has the most, if the blue or the red. So because of that, I can determine which ball I will start with. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm trying to. I had to use TypeScript because they don't have F#.
Mm-hmm.
I was so ready for F#, but so I'm trying to like return 1. That's the first thing and easiest one. Like if red is triple equal to 1 and blue is triple equal to 1, then return 1. That's one of the conditions that they have right there.
If the minimum is 1,
but for both
and
of them,
the other one is 1. Yeah.
All right, yeah, you see that we have 10 red and blue 1, right? So I can determine that 1 is the first one, then I take 2 out of the 10 and put it right there. But because I don't have more left in the blue, I can just finish and return with 2.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm
so
trying to.
you're actually gonna do the counting in your algorithm?
I'll try to track how much I have used and how much I have left.
Okay, gotcha. All right, I'm going to continue with this mathematical formula here. Feel free to pursue that. I'm interested to see your solution here, because what I'm seeing is what I'm doing is I'm looking for a pattern, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if the lowest is 1, if the minimum is 1, and the other one is 100, which is the maximum it could be, then the most you could do is 2, a height of 2.
Mm-hmm.
If it's 2 and it's 100, you have a max of 3. But same thing if it's 3, 4, or 5, same thing. You're still limited and your height is only going to be 3. So what I think is we're going to see a pattern where 2 only occurs 1 time, 3 is going to occur 4 times, 4, I don't know, it might just occur 4 times, it might occur more than 4 times. I think it's going to occur 4 times. I think we're going to see a pattern of 4, but I want to kind of just like, because once I figure out what the pattern is, then I could draw up a mathematical solution that should be O of 1. We'll see though. But this might be overthinking such a simple problem as well. Easies, I don't know. I haven't done the competition in probably like 6 months, so I don't. Sometimes easy they like make the easies harder, you know. So we'll see.
Yeah, my approach got accepted.
That's cool. You guys are savvy. Who's that?
Umran.
Umbra. That's cool, man. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
You're rocking. I was wondering if you can use recursion.
Yeah, definitely. Ivan, yours is like a greedy solution.
What?
Yours is a greedy solution.
Greedy? What do you mean?
Um, basically, you're subtracting the number of remaining balls, right?
Yeah, but I don't know if that's gonna work.
Okay, just curious.
Yeah, I'm trying to use loops. I'm trying to avoid loops.
Yeah,
I'll be honest with you. Let
same,
me
same.
go ahead and share my screen, but my brain is kind of like toast. I've never been good at this kind of things anyway, so
That's why we do it,
I
right?
don't mind if I don't mind if I cannot do it. Yeah, so I just share my screen so people can see my progress and maybe give me some advice. I'm just kidding. So I got rid of the first things that I can control for now. I'm returning one if red is triple equal to one, but blue is greater than two, then I'm returning just true two. And if blue is equal to one and red is greater than two, I'm returning two. So I'm just saying, like, if we have more than two, we won't be able to have another row anyways. So just give them a two.
If red equals
Blue,
one and
blue
blue
is
equals
over
one,
already. You
return
see?
one. Ah, gotcha, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm just getting rid of those options. It's
Mhm.
very obvious that I can put this in the same if, I believe. I could do or. So that's kind of like the same shit. So let me see if I do two and I put right here five. How much is it gonna give me? Oh no, I'm not. Let me see. I don't return. Okay. If red triple equal to one,
It should give you three, right?
is greater than two. Yeah, it should give me two. It should have give me two. So
Nah, it should
oh,
get
because
it should give you
I'm returning.
three because you used three of the balls from five. You used the two for the middle, and then you use one of the other five. So that would be a height of three.
However, I'm saying right here that if red is triple equal to one, oh, because I'm doing, yeah, I have to do one of those.
Mm-hmm.
Now I should receive two.
Yes.
And if I do vice versa, I have five here and one here, I should still get two. So I'm good with that. Now I just need to render the rows, which is the difficult part. So if so I got rows. Let me call it the right way. It's a rows. Um
I definitely see a pattern here. So if we have a minimum of one, we know that the max it could be is two. If we have a minimum of two or three, we know that the max ever will be three. If we have a minimum of four or five, we know the max can only be four. Um, and then it's basically just seeing if the other ball is has a certain number. If the other ball has at least um, I believe it should be 20%, but I'm not positive.
I don't know how they are testing that all the balls in a particular row should be the same color. If they are just receiving an output of three or a number, how they gonna determine that you have all blues in one row and all red in another row if you're just returning a number? How are they gonna test this?
I think they have their test cases built in. Is that what you mean?
Let me see. They just the cases that I saw is just numbers. So odd.
Hmm.
Input red 10 input blue 1 and output is 2. They're not saying like you have 3 rows of red and 1 of, you know. So I was wondering how they testing that. I thought about using logarithm, but logarithm wouldn't work. Like Mathlog, because logarithm will just tell you how many times a thing can be divided by 2, I believe. So
Not
if I
possible.
say math.log 2 of, let's say that you give me 5 rows, you can divide it by like 3 times. But I'm not too sure about this. If you do 13, you can do 3 times divided by 3 times. I was just thinking like it's a mathematical way to do it. But
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to see right now. I believe there is. Though there's got to be a super simple way to do it. I know that there's a super simple way to do it.
I can take 1 out of the 5, and I will be left with 3. Okay, so I'm not trying to use a freaking loop. Because then I would have to use 2 loops for each color. That'll be so bad.
Yeah, I know the higher bound now. So I see this. So this is gonna end up being n 2, 3.
What about if I merge both of them? So let's assume
4, 5.
is equal to red plus blue. Now I have an exact number of how many I can divide this. So I can keep track of, let me see. Well, I'm gonna try to for loop. So for like index 1, right? Equal to 0. And while index is less than the sum index plus plus. So now here I start with 1 and I can set the row with 1. Row if
So
I'll put 1 right here. Let's see, if index is equal to 1, then I have the first row and I can subtract.
Yo, Omar, did you do something mathematical? Do you have a mathematical solution for this one?
yeah, I add my pseudocode.
In the chat? I'm curious. What...
No, it's in your code editor at line 59. I didn't build the solution, but the thing is, as Joss mentioned, like if you get this formula and you reverse it, you see how many even rows we can get from the red and how many odd rows we can get from blue. So together they will form the triangle height. And you calculate how many even rows we can get from blue and how many odd rows we can get from red, and you calculate what's height of this triangle, and you return the max of them. So if you have like, let's say like 10 reds, you figure out what is the sum of first n numbers, first n even numbers that is less or equal to 10. So you calculate this n, okay? And let's say like you have 2 blue. You figure out what is the sum of first n odd numbers that is less or equal to 2. So you get this n, correct? So for the first one, it is 2 plus 4, 6, 2 plus 4, just 2 plus 4. So n equal to 2. For the second one, 1 is the first odd number that sum to less or equal to 2. So you have 1 and 2 rows. So the maximum possible triangle is this 3. Does this make sense?
Yeah, yeah. So you're finding out how many even rows you could make with the reds, and you're finding out how many odd rows you could make with the blue.
Yeah, then you reverse it. How many even rows you can make with blue and how many odd rows you can make with red. So whatever sum more, whatever triangle is higher, you pick it. So the first triangle is like this. Then you reverse the process. You make this for odd and this for even. So for even you still get 1 for even. For odd with 10 you can get, I think, 3. But anyway, like it will be 3 in both cases. So, but like in different scenarios, it will give a different number. It is overcomplicating it. I think a simple for loop will be easier. I think this approach is much easier. But like this, the mathematical approach, I can think about any trick to make it even faster. So this O of 1, by the way, because reversing this formula is a floor of a squared something. Is a floor of a squared the number. So it will be like just a formula, because we reverse n multiplied by n plus 1 divide by 2. So this for the first sum, like we need to modify it to the odd and even. But like it will be just yeah.
The n into n plus 1 by 2 is for like consecutive numbers, right? This is
Yeah,
not consecutive.
yeah. So it should be modified. So, but I don't
The
want to
arithmetic
waste.
progression.
Yeah, but I don't want to waste time with it.
Yeah.
Mm.
I was trying the arithmetic progression logic, which is 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7 and 2 plus 4 plus 6 plus 8. That should be the two combinations. And whichever gets the arithmetic result. But yeah, like you said, like I was also thinking that, but like then it is just basic for loop and it should be done.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
Does
I was like, I
efficiency
was
really
so
matter with a problem this small?
I saw like I was making so complicated. Why is it getting so complicated? And then I was like I wasted so much time on this easy problem. I was like,
That's funny. That's funny. Yeah, you're right. A for loop probably would work the best, right? Hmm.
Three hard. 2 is easier as well.
Let me see the other ones. Did you check out the hard one yet?
I am still stuck in 3. I can't find a solution.
You're given an array nums. A subsequent sub of nums with length x is called valid if it satisfies. Hmm. Okay, so in this one, you're just looking to see if the sum is even or odd, and if it is the same as the last one. With this problem here, when you're moving forward, are you doing this with a loop, like the sliding window?
No. Slide. No, just a single for loop.
Single for loop. Yeah.
I actually put my pseudocode at the end of the visual code. Spoiler. Like, it is similar to the previous problem. Same approach.
Hmm. Okay, so you just have a variable storing the current max. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and start coding this one up too. This is your spoiler here?
Yeah.
I think I'll do this one differently. I feel like the second one is easier than the first one.
I think I got the first one. I know it's a mess of a code, so please don't judge me. But I think I got it. Let me just go ahead and try it. Judging. Wrong answer. Oh, 857 test cases passed. I feel good about that. Even though 47 of them didn't. At least it
let me
passed a
see the
lot of
code.
them. Huh?
Can I see the code?
Yeah, sure. So this is what I did. I know it's a mess, but I get the reminding. I assume both of them like red and blue, so I know like make my divisions, and then I do a for loop, and then I just subtract the reminder plus one. So the first time is gonna subtract one from the remaining, and then if the remaining is greater than one, than I, the index, the current index, for example, the second time is gonna be. Oh, probably that's why, because probably I need to initialize this, do this, and then just subtract I, and then rows is gonna be I plus 1. However, the first case would be 2, and we don't want to have the row initializing at 2. So maybe I could enclose this in I minus whatever. What is it doing? So maybe, oops. So basically, I'm subtracting 1 the first time it runs, right? And I'm adding that 1 to the row. And then the second time, I'm going to add 2 because no. Because I is gonna be 2 the second time, and I'm gonna add 1, and it's gonna be 3, so it's gonna be interesting. So yeah, it passed a lot of tests, like 857, but it failed 47. So maybe I have a hacky way to do 857 of them. I'm just not caring about rows being in color at this point.
Yeah, yeah. I'm interested to see the different solutions for this problem.
Yeah. Boy. Second time it runs is 2. Third time it runs is 3.
Mm.
try this. I don't know how many they're gonna extract. Maybe 10 minutes now.
Yep. Not well, 5 minutes for each wrong submission. Yep.
I failed again.
Yeah, if you do the run code, then don't submit it. Do run code.
I tried to run, but they said that during context is not up. It's not
Okay.
available.
Yeah, but use small examples and just know that what the result is going to be for them. Like you should know. They won't show you the result, but you can like just draw and see like which one is the one quickly with small examples.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So 2 and 1 must return 1. So
2
if
and 1 would return 2.
no, the output is 1.
No,
So
it should
2.
return 2.
So why they have right here that red equals 2, blue equals 1, and the output should be 1.
No, that's your output. The actual output they won't show you. But the actual output should be 2. Means your code is not giving 2. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, this is my code returning right here.
Mhm. Hmm. I'm gonna try to get this efficient solution for the first one. If I get that, I'm good. So choppy, first night back, so choppy. If I could just get this one, I'll be happy.
I'll try to get hacking.
Hmm. Hmm.
Stupid shit. This is getting worse. It's one of the time where you just step away from the code and be like, like 10 minutes later.
Okay, I see the pattern. So it's gonna be, if we have the minimum, okay, here we go. I got this.
Martin is in the chat with all solutions.
What?
I'm saying like we have someone who solved all the 4 problems.
Jesus Christ.
Martin.
Of course, Martin's a beast, man.
Is it like Mega Brain or something?
Yeah,
Giga brain.
yeah, to say the least.
Giga Chat Brain.
I give up.
I figured out 3, but no time for it.
I don't even know how much time left. None, right?
It's
No,
no
it ended.
negative 1 minute.
I was gonna go to the second one, but I really wanted to figure out this mathematical solution for the first one. So we could go ahead and we could start sharing our solutions, moving from the easy to the more hard.
Why mine says accepted all 4 cases, but then wrong answer? Can someone explain to me? I'm new to LeetCode, so
I mean, the cases which you're considering as only those 4 cases, but actually there are like a lot of cases. These are the cases which you have, like which they have given like just for testing, but those are not the only 4 cases.
oh, that's stupid from them.
No, no one would give you all the cases. There are like, they would just for like, main is you have to ensure that you're covering all the edge cases. They won't directly show you the cases.
Makes sense. So I'm curious about the solution. So let's rock and roll.
Bro, I need to get back into the groove. This is my first night back after like 6 months, and you could feel it. It's not like riding a bike.
At least I tried it because I'm not good at data structure and algorithm. That's why I'm here.
Yeah, exactly.
I said it in the group that this is that I really need it. So
All right, so who wants to share first? Who solved the easy one?
I solved.
I can share my solution. It is not the best, but I
Alright.
can share it.
All right, cool. I definitely want to share my thought process on this solution. And if anyone has any ideas or could see something that I didn't see, that'd be awesome. But it's not actually working. But I was working through it, and I think I was starting to figure it out. But go ahead. You can share yours first, Omar.
Sure. So can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So yeah. So for the first solution, we want to. Okay. So we have 2 integers, red and blue, and represent the count of red and blue colors, colored bold. We want to build the highest or the maximum height of triangle. So we have 2 options: either start the first red ball and build the triangle, or start the first ball to be blue and build the triangle. So from those 2 options, we want to pick the one that give the maximum height triangle. So I really just did like a straightforward approach. So like for this part of the solution, it was simulating if first ball was blue. So I stored the variable r equal to red, b equal to blue, max 1 equal to 0, odd equal to 1, even equal to 2. Then I did a for loop from 0 to 100 because at maximum we will have 100 balls.
Mhm.
So if the variable b, which represents the number of blue balls, is greater or equal to odd, so that means like we can add another layer to the odd numbers. So we add 1 to the max one, and then we subtract odd from b, and then odd increased by 2 because odd is 1, 3, 5, 7. So we increase it by 2. Else we break the for loop. Then like if r, the red, is greater than even, we also add another layer to max 1 because we can have another even layer from the red. We subtract the even, this even number from the r, and then like even increase by 2, or we break. So all this is the height of triangle, giving that we start the triangle by putting the blue ball first. Now the same code block, I copied it and define max2, and just like assuming that we start with the red ball first. So this time the red will be the odd, the first odd, and the blue will be the even. So we get like max2, and then like just return which is maximum, max1 or max2. Yeah, very simple.
Why did you create a b and a r variable? Why not just use red and blue?
Because if you subtract like from red and blue, you cannot use it in the second block.
Oh, yep. Gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah, was this clear?
I did the same thing. It's just that I like made it a bit smaller. That's it.
And
Yeah.
how's the time complexity of this one? If did he tell you right there like how long it took?
It's 2n, 2n.
2n, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Because you have two for loops through entire array.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the entire function, there is 2 of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
I try to do that in one loop. So with n, I spent like an hour, and then just I didn't do anything, and I just moved to this 2n solution like in several minutes, and just moved to the second one. Should
Interesting.
probably do that at the first 15 minutes and spend more
Yeah.
time on the
Yeah.
others.
Yeah, I was gonna go to the second one, but I was like, you know what? Let me just try to bust this out. Does anyone else have a solution they want to share?
Yeah,
Yep.
I was trying also to do it in the same loop, and that's probably what took the most of the time.
Yeah, I just did it this way. Like, I mean, it's the same logic, but I just created a separate function and did that. Just to keep it simple. So
I can show
why
mine
it's-
as well. Give me a second. It's like the idea is the same. So you have two loops. Like I just cover these super easy options here, just to not loop, to not iterate through entire. So like in these cases, it will be like not 2n, but just 1. Yeah, and like here I also assign like pretty ugly naming, but whatever. Assigning these main numbers to temporary one, because I will just reduce them. So here, yeah, one loop we start with blue one, and doing that until we are less than 0 on one of them. And the next loop we just start from red ones. So like the idea is the same, but not with for loop, but with do while. Yeah, and again max at the end. So yeah,
Hmm.
the same.
Nice, nice. Cool, cool. Thanks for sharing.
It's
All
a
right.
very similar result.
Yep, yep.
I'm gonna go ahead and share mine really quickly. It's not a complete solution, but I wonder if one of y'all could tell me whether I was on the right track or not. Um, so basically, what I was trying to do, I was trying to find a mathematical solution. So I was like, there's got to be an O of 1 solution for this. I felt like there was, and so I looked at if n was 1, if n was 2, if n was 3, if n was 4, if n was 5, and all the way down here, assuming the other one was 100. So if blue was 1 and red was 100, what's the max? If blue was 2 and red was 100, what's the max? And then I also wanted to see the other side, like if blue was 2 and red was 2, what's the max? And the max would be 2. So you could see on this side, if we're looking at the n being our minimum and the other one being 100, so the max, which is our constraint, we're looking at 2, 3, and 3. If it's 4, it's going to be 4. If it's 5, it's going to be 4. If it's 6, 7, or 8, it's going to be 5. If it's 9, 10, or 11, it's going to be 6. And you can see that here's a pattern of 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5. And so the maximum height based off the minimum increases by 1 after 2 repeated, then it increases. 3 repeated, then it increases. 3 repeated. So you can see how we have a pattern of 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4. So I was wondering if there was one way I could break that down into a formula. And this side, it was always going to be 1 less than whatever we have on this side. So I was thinking it was something like n divided by 2 plus 1 or something like that. But do you guys see what I was trying to do here or have any idea?
Do you know the arithmetic progression sum formula?
No, what is it?
So it's basically Sn is n by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 into d. So it's a formula where it basically, if let's say if you have a sum, let's say 4. So and you know that what is the start? It will either start with 1 or 2, right? Any number.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be like 1, 3, 5, 7 or 2, 4, 6, 8. And if you know that what is your total sum, like initial total sum, which is 4, that's the total number of balls. Now you can find out what will be the number of balls you would, number of rows you would need using that formula.
So I'd be able, so I would know like how many different coefficients and variables I would need to create the formula.
Yeah, so you based on that formula you can need. It's just that it forms as, yeah, you would need to take the square root, or you might get you shouldn't get like you might get a quadratic equation.
This is it,
based on
Omar?
that.
I think it should be close to this. I'm trying to figure it out because it will be the reverse. Like, so basically, if you have sum equal to n multiplied by n plus 1 divided by 2. So what we want to calculate is n. So n multiplied by n plus 1 is equal to 2 multiplied by sum. So then, like, we want to solve this equation for n. Then we floor it, so you will get like the result. I think this is the case.
I actually tried this one here and this didn't work.
No, you want to calculate n from the sum. So you need to solve this equation for n.
Okay.
But
But there is an O of 1 solution for this, right? Like I was on
but-
the right track, and there's definitely an O of 1.
What?
There's definitely there's patterns here. I just didn't know how to convert these patterns into a formula.
Yeah, if we said like this and then we said like delta equal to b squared, which
But
is
then n into n plus 1 by 2 is for
b squared
consecutive number sum. Like,
plus.
how are you?
Yeah, I see what you mean. Like we still need to do.
We need to find the. That's what I said.
Yeah,
That's the reason I brought about the arithmetic progression. It's a certain difference between two numbers, which is difference of 2. Always. So for red balls, it's going to be 1, 3, 5, 7, and for like whichever ball, or either it could be 2, 4, 6, 8. So n into n plus 1 by 2 won't work. But the one which I said about arithmetic progression, it's the same formula what you're doing, but the formula is a bit different. You can search like Sn, it's basically like this. Uh, Sn is equal to, I'm typing on the chat, 2 into a plus n minus 1.
You know what? I think you're onto something with the square root, because the square root of 9 would be 3. So you could see the next three numbers, 9, 10, and 11, would be, well, the pattern's only going to continue for 3, right? Whereas here, if you look at, let's see, what's a perfect square? 25, we're looking at 5, and the pattern continues for 5 numbers. So you'd be able to know. So knowing the square root is going to help us determine how many sequential ends we're going to use this value for. So like we know if it's 27, the square root of 27 is probably 5 point something, right? So we'd be able to floor that, and we know, or be able to just find out where the perfect square before that is, and we know anything from 25 to 29 is going to be the same value. And then it's all about finding the value. But you would know how many repetitions of the same value you would have based on the square root. Because if you look at 16, square root of 16 is 4, and we have a series of 4. Same with here. The square root of these would be 3 point something, but if you round it up, it would be 4. And same with here. The square root of 20 would be 4 point something, and if you round it up, it'd be 5. So you know there's going to be 5. You know the value is going to repeat for 5 times. So there's that's one side, using the square root to determine how many times the actual height is going to repeat. And then the second half of the formula would be actually determining how to get this value here based on this. So that's another formula. But if you combine them, you'd have the answer. But we don't have to focus too much on solving this right here. I just wanted to. I get it. I see what's happening. I know what I need to do. Is just analyzing it, doing a little figuring it out, you know. But all right. Does anyone else want to share the easy one? All right. Does anyone want to share the first medium? Did anyone solve it?
I can do that, but just that code is a bit messy. But yeah, I mean, I did that. So let me know if you're able to see the screen.
Yep.
So the way it is so just to like tell you like the logic. So the question is that if we, let's say, have 1, 2, 3, 4, then the consecutive pairs like 1 and 2, 2 and 3, 3 and 4, if you take their the sum and then mod them by 2, then that should be equal to its next consecutive pair mod, and you need to find the subsequence. For example, in this case, if you do 1 plus 2, which is 3, 3 mod 2 is 1, 2 plus 3, which is 5, 5 mod 2 is 1, and 3 plus 4, which is 7, 7 mod 2 is 1. So you can use the entire string as a subsequence. All are valid. Now if you consider this example, if you do 1 plus 2, which is 3, 3 mod 2 is 1. 2 plus 1, which is again 3, 3 mod 2 is 1. Then you take this 1 comma 1, 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 mod 2 is 0. So yeah, so this one, like this can't be part of the, like this, since this 1 comma 1 is not equal to 2 comma 1, like this formula, as per this formula. So just ignore this one, and after this one, like you took this pair, you took this pair, now take this one and this 2 pair. So again 1 plus 2, which is 3 mod 2, 1. Now take this 2 pair, now take this 2 pair. So if you see, this is the sequence getting formed. You basically just ignore, so this is the subsequence. Now if you check like every 2 pairs, you will get their mod 2 equal to the matching, which is equal to 1. That's the question. So the logic which I used was like, I considered like there can, whenever you add two numbers, there are only 3 possible chances. One thing is it would be odd
Hold
plus
on one
odd.
second. Can you just go up real quick? So 1 2 1 2 1 2. Okay, so you're allowed to basically
Subsequence.
cut one
You
out.
can-
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a subsequence. You need to find the longest subsequence.
Okay.
That's the question.
Yep.
So there are only 3 choices of doing this, of adding any 2 numbers. It can be either odd plus odd, it can be either even plus even, and it can be either odd plus even.
Mm-hmm.
So when you do odd plus odd, you will always get odd. No, even, sorry.
Even.
When you do odd plus odd, you'll always get even. And also when you do even plus even, you will always get even. Only in case of odd plus even, you will get odd. Always get odd.
Mm-hmm.
So now you know that when you have all odd or all even, you are going to get even. That means the mod of even number is always going to be 0, right? Since you are taking mod 2, there can only be 2 possible results, 0 or 1.
Mm-hmm.
That is odd or even. So what I did was, like, I just considered these 2 cases. So for these 2 cases, what you need to do is, in this string of array, you need to find all the even numbers and all the odd numbers separately. So that is one possible, that those are two possible ways of finding the solution. So for example, in this example, just find all odd numbers, which is 1 1 1 1. So if the sequence which will be formed is 1 comma 1 comma 1 comma 1, and that, like for this example, one solution, let's say if I consider only these 2 cases, then it would be 1 comma 1 comma 1 comma 1, all odd numbers, or 2 comma 2 comma 2 comma 2, all even numbers. Now if you check this valid sequence logic, this logic on these 2 arrays separately, they will match, they will be successful.
There's only 3 2s.
3 2s, okay, yeah, 3 2s, yeah. Now if you apply this logic, this valid sequence logic, these 2 will satisfy them, because that's how you have inferred from this logic that since they are all even, if you add any 2 like consecutive 2 numbers, you will get the remainder as 0 and take a mod 2 then. So now this length is 4 and this length is 3. So you are now, the maximum of these 2 is 4. So now you have, based on these 2 cases, you have found out till now in this area, the maximum is 4. The length. Correct?
Yep.
Now the third case. Now the third case is a bit complicated. It's basically you need to find the alternate odd even, odd even, odd even. So now in this case, like, that's the thing. Was someone saying anything?
No, I don't think so.
So you need to find the odd even pairs. So they should be alternate, like it should be odd comma even comma odd comma even comma odd, like this, or else it could be even comma odd comma even comma odd comma even. So it can start with even or it can start with odd.
Mhm.
So this one case is being inferred into these two cases, deduced. So now you need to check both the conditions. So that's what I did. I basically first checked alternate even odd with even start and alternate even odd with, actually it should be odd start. And then I fetched what is the lengths, and then just took the max of all four. All four means like these two cases, one and two, and these two cases. So four cases.
How did you determine that it should be an even and odd combination based off of those arrays? The 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 odds and the evens?
Yeah,
Because
because
you
Yeah.
said you know just by looking at the array of four ones and the array of three twos that now you know that what you're looking for is odd even, and you're not looking for odd odd or even, just based off the number.
so yeah, so if you see like these two cases are based on these two conditions, only these two. There are three conditions.
Yeah.
So if I just add all odds, then I will any two odds which I am adding, I will get an even number. But as soon as there is an even number in between, that will add it with an odd number and I'll get an odd number. I want either in my all combinations, when I add all consecutive to any two numbers, I should get either odd or even. I shouldn't get like both in the same array.
Mhm.
So if you consider this, let's say if I extract all odd numbers from this list, and if I take any two like combinations, I'll I'm pretty sure that I'll be getting even value. Add them. 1 plus 1 2, 1 plus 1 2, 1 plus 1 2, like, or like fetch like 3 5 7 9. Now these are also all odd. You can add any two numbers, let's say 3 and all consecutive numbers, 3 plus 5 which give you 8, 7 plus 5 which will give you 12, 9 plus 7 which will give you 16. So if you take mod 2 of any all those additions, you will get 0.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's how I did that. And the same thing for even.
I have a question for you guys.
Yeah.
What is the secret to do well in these kind of problems? Just study more algorithm and data structure, or just keep practicing leak code? What have you guys done to do this?
I mean, this is more like math actually. It's not data structures. I
Mhm.
don't think there was anything with data structures in the first two problems. The third problems is about a data structure, but the
Okay,
first two were like pure math actually.
got it.
So this was pure math, like, but it wasn't data structure exactly.
Okay.
But
Oh, thank you.
at the end of the day, it's just about like you said, Ivan. It sounds like you already know. You know, study the different data structures and algorithms, and then also practice. You know, that combination
Mm-hmm.
always works. The people I know who are the best at this, man, they dedicate time to solving a lot of problems. And the best I know, they just solve problems, man. They basically just they're focused on solving problems, but then when they encounter something that they don't know, then they go down a rabbit hole and then they come back and just start solving problems again. You know, focus on solving problems.
Okay.
I just want to make sure that I explained it correctly or not. I mean, that's my concern. Like you come up with the logic, but was it clear? Was the logic clear?
I have a question. So, how did you uh, identify this pattern, that such pattern existed? Did you understand it from from the question itself, or by looking at the test cases? Like when did that idea strike you?
I mean, first thing is like when you see two numbers, you can see that there is a constant they have given like 2. So it's kind of like math. So you know that it's mod 2. So from there, I thought that okay, it can be only 0 or 1. So when it comes to 0 or 1, the first thing comes is even and odd. And then
Okay,
there were like
got it.
two numbers. So then I tried to find like how many cases can it actually create. So there can only be 3 cases.
Yeah.
Now the
So I got.
problem, the
Uh,
third problem, in the third problem, if you see, now here
there was
in
a
this,
K, right?
yeah.
That
So in that
complicated.
case,
Yeah.
that you can't now do that. So in this case, you need to think something else.
Yeah. So I got confused when it said sub of 0 and sub of 1. I first thought, sliding window would be possible, but when I saw sub and when it said sub means a subsequence,
Yeah,
that
subsequence.
that's when I gave up.
I mean, sliding window can also work. It's not like that you cannot use sliding window, but you need to modify the sliding window a bit.
Hmm. Yeah.
I'm not sure, but yeah.
But this is really cool, man. Impressive. Odd, even, odd, even, odd. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
This is it here, Omar. Does this pass all the test cases?
No, just pass a lot, but it fails just for specific. It's always fails just one number shift from the correct answer.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it cannot fix.
That's what I noticed because I was doing n divided by 2 plus 1 for the lower numbers, but then that plus 1 moved to -1, then -2 and -3, so it actually started decreasing. But it was hard to predict. I didn't see a pattern, so I know why you're one off.
Oh, I see.
I deleted a bunch of code that I was kind of like thinking through it, but it was decrementing. So it was like n divided by 2 plus 1 if it was like 1, 2, or 3, and then it went to plus 2, then it was plus 1, then it was -1, -2, -3, and it was decrementing. But I'm pretty sure it was n divided by 2 with a decrementing variable. I just couldn't find the pattern in the decrementing variable.
I'm pretty sure I will spend the entire day figure it out.
Yo, let me know when you do, man. I'm interested in
Yeah.
this. That's cool. All right, let's see. Thank you for sharing, Aditya. Did anyone else want to share the second solution?
I can try. I just stacked in with one case, but others seems to be working. Just give me a second. So my idea was just to iterate through every item, every element in the array, and like if we do awk, so like this pattern works. We have a region here, and I just check current. So if the pattern works, so origin equals current, we add result, and like something in addition I will explain in the future. And so like we have pairs. If everything awk, like one pair, another pair, etc. So we will have like an amount of pairs, like proper pairs in the result, plus 1 here, because like from our task we need to get an amount of elements, not pairs, and like amount of elements, it's amount of pairs plus 1. So like here we have plus 1, and I've stuck with like some edge cases. That's why I was needed to add these skips and backs. So what the idea? If you have 1 plus 7, so it's okay. Like the origin will be it's 8. Yeah, so it will be like the result of origin will be 0. 7 plus 6, it will be 1. So the current will be 1. So it doesn't work. And in this way, we need to skip 6 and continue to check previous 7 with eta plus 1. So 7 and 2 on the next iteration. 7 and 2 current will be again 1. So we don't need that. It's not our way. And we need to skip these 2 again and continue previous like the last previous proper element 7 with the next eta. So eta plus 2. So and 7 plus 9 should be all again 0 in current. So it should be 3 elements. That's why I've added this back. Because back, why back? Because we need our previous element that we check here to be the same element, so 7. At least we find another proper pair. So here it's 7 and 9. Other previous pairs don't work for us. That's why we need to stack with 7. Yeah, and that's why I add back here. So we just move back and a skip. So this skip true, it means that this pair that we've checked here is not proper one, and we need to skip the element and to just check another pair. Yeah, and like this exact case I was stuck because we need to skip several elements. So we need to add, I suppose, here. We need to add. And here we need to check if back. So it's like work in progress for this case. So here if back. We need to somehow add this like double, triple skipping or whatever. So like the last thing that is needed to be added is this one. So I need some more time to just finish it. But like other cases works really properly with this skipping technique.
Nice, nice. Does anyone have any questions on that? All right, cool. Thanks for sharing.
I will finish it and post in chat for maybe someone want to.
Cool.
Look for it. Yep.
Does anyone else have the second one? That was the second, right? Yeah. Did anyone solve the third?
I did it after the contest.
Nice. I didn't even read the third one. You want to share?
Yeah. Just I was trying to explain something, but let me share my screen. I think it's this one. Okay, so this is the same problem. In this case, we have this K variant, So I analyze that when you sum up two values, I'm going to delete this or this. When you sum up two values, whatever it would be, like 1 plus 4 or 1 plus 2, module k is going to fall into this range from 0, 1, 2 until k minus 1. So that means you are going to build your subsequency with these matching values, because you need to match like these values. Let me, like if you say it's 1 plus 4 module 3, you're going to have 2, yeah, and the next one is like you need to use the previous one, so it's going to be like 4 plus 1 module 3. So you are matching this value. So I call this value R as the reminder. So you are matching this value. Like you can build some subsequency. In this case, your candidate is going to be like 1, 4, and 4, 1, because 1 plus 4 module 3 is 2, and 4 plus 1 module 3 is 2, is the same. So you are matching the reminder. So you have your candidate or your solution.
And
or
k
your
could be
substrate.
anywhere up to 10,000, so it's not just being 0 or 1 anymore. It's going to be anywhere from 0 to 10,000, which is huge. Or
No.
1,000.
It is from, if we check the constraints, this is, I think this is power.
Yeah, so 1,000.
So this is k is going to go from 0, and yeah, in a large case is going to be like, I think,
Yeah, right there.
that
Yeah. So that's
yeah.
That's much different than the 0 or 1 that we could have had on the previous problem.
Yeah, in the previous problem we just have from 0 to 1.
Mhm.
But once we know this, you know that you can make some combinations between these elements. So I was just trying to explain this. Once you know that, you can combine this with this, or with this, or with this. It's like you combine 1 and 4, and 4 combine with 1, and even you can combine this with this, and you have a solution, a valid solution. This is the largest subsequency, because in solution is for the second one. For the second one is 4. Yeah. So that's your solution. And for our in order to search that solution, you need to try this, and this, and this, and this, and this. for 1. And after that, for the second one, that is for 4, you don't need to try to look back, because you already have that combination 1 and 4. So you need to try 4 with 2, and the next, the next, and the next, and so on. You can do the same for 2. 2 needs to try with this, this, and with this. And you can do that because the size of the array that we are going to try these combinations just I think it's 1000. Yeah. So when you try this combination, it's going to be like this power of 2. Yeah. This is like a double loop. So you have that, and our complexity is only going to be like this. Yeah, like this, and we need to search our answer also into this size of the array, and yeah, it's going to be something like that if you build your array. So probably I have, yeah. So I just set some default table to save this the size of the subsequency, and that starts from just as I mentioned before, taking this the numbers of elements by the maximum possible remainder for k. So that's it from n to k minus 1. So k minus 1, I'm going to set this kind of memory to save for each element. That means it's like I'm going to build some kind of table. I'm going to set like this table, and I'm going to start like with 1. This is dynamic programming topic. So I set by default 1 because you have just at the start you have just 1 element. These are going to represent the matching value. That's the remainder. So it goes from 0 to k minus 1, and from 0 to the numbers of elements minus 1. And like I said before, I'm going to try to do the combinations like for this 1 plus 4 module 1 plus 2 module k, and so on. And I'm going to increase like if I take these 2 elements like 1 and 4, I think this must be 2. Or yeah, it's 2 because it's no, I'm wrong. So 1 plus 4 module k is 2. So 2 is this value, and my previous value is what it was 1, so I can increase and set to 2 because I have some matching value, and I'm going to do that every time. For the second one, I have the remainder 0, so I'm going to increase that just 1. For the tier 1, this is the remainder is 2, so I'm going to increase that. Sorry, the remainder is 1, I'm going to increase to 2. For the 4 one, remainder is 2, so I'm going to increase for my previous to 2. The 5 one is 2, so from 1 to 2.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But you could you also have set all those ones to 0 and then just increment it to 1 instead of 2 though, right? You're just using that to count which row has the greatest value, right? Did that make sense?
I can hear his voice.
I can't hear you, Fernando.
Sorry, can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah. Sorry, I was trying to explain that once we have this kind of table, you can find the solution on which you can find the solution just picking the maximum value on these cells. And you need to realize, like in this case, that you are going to have some kind of collision. That means one is reaching to, is this one. I'm going to copy this. Yeah, you're going to have this kind of collision like this. One, it reached 3. Same, it goes for 4. So when you have that, probably 4 have some previous combinations. Like let me say this. Like you have this subsequency, and there is another subsequency that you are trying to build like this. Or probably there is some matching values like this. There is two possible subsequencies. So you need to take your current value and set the maximum. So I'm just doing this with this. So just try to increment, but if the previous value was bigger, I just keep that. So I just I'm avoiding to lose some values on these cells. Yeah, that is the only difference.
Yeah, and then you're counting at the end.
As you say, Jim, just you need to select which is the
maximum.
Yeah, and the cost is just n squared. That n squared is the size of the array. Yeah.
Nice, nice. Does anyone have any questions on this one here?
Except
Oh,
that I didn't understand anything. It just cause I am dumb and tired, not because of your explanation.
I know. Fernando's actually a really good teacher, man. I love how he writes all that stuff out.
Yeah.
That's how I get to it at the end of the night. I'm like, I'm trying so hard to
Like
just
with
understand.
diagrams, with schemas, with tables, always really great explanation, but I am too dumb
Yeah.
to get that. At least for now.
Fernando, can you please share that solution? I want to take a look at it like later, and I want to
Yeah.
like deconstruct it.
Yeah, I'm going to share the solution in the chat right now.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
that was actually impressive, Fernando. So
As
Ciao.
usual, actually.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
still have a long way
Omar,
to
this
go.
solution works here?
Yes, it worked.
Wow. Yeah, that's complex, man. But it's O of 1, right? Yeah. Looks like
Yeah,
it.
it's off one.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah, so you were subtracting 1. 1 plus the square root. Huh.
It's a lot of math.
A lot of math. I know. I knew I was trying to bite off more than I could chew even going for it, but that's amazing. That's awesome, man. Good job. Does anyone else have the third solution they want to share or the fourth solution?
I can share the problem if you want.
Yeah, I didn't even get a chance to look at it.
Just kidding.
What is it? Tree problem. Well, it looks like no one has the solution. If y'all continue to work on this or solve it sometime this week, definitely share it somewhere in the chat or share it in the server.
Actually, I already shared the solution to the problem 4.
Oh, you have one?
Yeah, I already shared it on
Oh.
chatting.
Oh, gotcha. I didn't even see that. This is it here at 12:03. Max height of triangle, minimum length.
And it's actually quite easy one. If you look at it, it's just finding diameter of tree and just comparing them. So yeah, that's it.
This is it here. You said you're just finding the diameter of the tree and then you're comparing?
Yeah, just compare the two. So your final diameter could be either one of two or the sum of the half of those two. So you just compare the 3 numbers and you're done.
You make it sound so simple, dude.
Yeah, so all you have to do is like compare the 3 numbers and you're done.
Yeah, that sounds so simple. Yeah, I'm gonna check out this solution too. I'd like to actually understand it. You used to come
No,
to
it's
the meetings,
actually-
didn't you?
Yeah, it's actually very simple. Like, you all know what the diameter of a tree is, right?
Nah, I've never
It's
even.
the
It's like
distance between the root node and the leaf, the farthest leaf. Is that the diameter?
No, like it's the maximum pairwise distance between any nodes, any 2 nodes.
Ah, okay, yeah. It's okay.
Suppose
theory.
suppose you found one for tree 1 and suppose you found another for tree 2. Then you want to minimize the diameter of the whole tree when you connect those 2 trees, right? Where do you want to connect? Naturally, where do you want to connect? If you want to minimize the total diameter. it has to be the center of the tree, right? You have to connect the two centers of each tree, and then you're done, right? So if diameter of tree 1 is so big, then the diameter of tree 1 is the total diameter. Or if the diameter of tree 2 is so long, then the answer should be diameter of tree 2. What else could be the diameter of the total tree?
So, I got what you're saying. Okay. So you're literally, what you're saying is just finding the diameter of the tree, the greatest distance from one node on one end to the furthest node on the other end, and then you're returning the max of the diameters of the two trees.
And there's one more thing. How many center of tree can you have at most?
How many center of tree?
Hmm?
My guess would be 2. It's a binary tree.
That's true. No, it's not a binary tree, but the center of tree could be either 1 or 2.
Okay.
So your radius could be diameter divided by 2 or diameter divided by 2 plus 1, right? So it could be at most diameter divided by diameter plus 1 divided by 2. So suppose the diameter of your tree 1 is d1 and diameter of your tree 2 is d2, then your candidate for another candidate for answer is d1 plus 1 divided by 2 plus d2 plus 1 divided by 2 plus 1. So that's your third candidate. So first candidate is d1, second candidate is d2, your third candidate is, I mean, look at my code. I've already uploaded. So if you look at my code, your final candidate is d1 plus 1 divided by 2 plus d2 plus 1 divided by 2 plus 1.
Where's
So if
that?
you
What
compare the
line is
three-
that on?
The last line, line number 45.
Okay.
So yeah, if you compare those three, you can take the maximum. So that's your diameter.
Okay. So you're comparing diameter 1 to diameter 2 to the answer, basically. I gotcha. Huh, that's interesting. Because I understand it conceptually, but actually understanding the mechanisms that get it done is the challenging thing
It's just
for me.
is just simply connecting two centers. After connecting two centers, there are only 3 cases, and that's it. And you all know how to find the diameter of tree, right?
No, I don't know.
There are 2 ways to do so. One is iterating 2 DFS call. Another is doing divide and conquer. It's pretty straightforward. So as you see in my code, the function g is a simple DFS, where you record depth of the tree, depth of the node for every node, starting from the root, and you find the maximum depth and the node that has the maximum depth, and you reiterate the same DFS starting from the root that you have just found, and the maximum depth there is the diameter. Make sense?
Yeah.
So we're iterating like 2 DFS. We're calling 2 DFS. One for finding the deepest depth node, and you're redoing the DFS with that node being the root of the DFS. So that's it.
Is there a reason that you call these functions G and F?
Because it's short. I don't want to name it long.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's not readable at all, but it feels like, genius.
I mean,
Genius
it's
code.
a compliment. Like you have to be fast.
Yeah.
True.
Nothing else
True.
is really
You make a
context.
really good point, right? Because typing 3
True.
letters takes longer than typing 1. It's that simple, dude. You make it sound so simple.
Yeah.
But
because
you're
I
right,
am
though.
I'm used to like typing words for the name of a function, but this one, today I learned something.
How quickly did you do all 4, Martin?
About 40 minutes. I got stuck at the last problem because I didn't expect to have empty edges. So both E1 and E2 could be empty, meaning that it has only one single node, and I couldn't take care of it. So I got like five wrong answers.
Mm.
So I could have, like, if I noticed it earlier, like, I could have finished it like in 30 minutes. But
Yeah. Wow.
I'm kind of screwed.
Do you compete for real with this stuff?
Sorry, what?
Do you compete for real with this stuff? Like, do you make money or do anything
No,
on
no.
like a higher level?
I like, yeah, I'm pretty serious about contests, but LeetCode is not a good platform for contests. Currently, I'm ranked like 700th overall, and I'm ranked like number 10 in Korea.
Damn.
But I got screwed today, so
Yeah.
yeah,
that's
my
what's
rank
up.
will decline a little bit.
Did you ever win any of these contests? Like, did you get those backpack and those those goodies?
I'm sorry, what?
LeetCode has like the top prize, the first prize is like a backpack, and the
Oh no, I
second
never
prize they
did.
have some prizes, right?
My highest rank was like 45th.
Damn, that's still
And
wild, man.
That's so that's so cool.
That's
That's so cool.
no, that was the only time. That was the only time I got up at top 50. Yeah, that was a
I
long
thought
time
that
ago.
like people upper 100 just don't exist.
Yeah, today I was ranked like 800, so I was screwed. I just checked my delta and it will decline by 26 points. So
Your
Do you work
delta?
Yep.
for fun or how it works?
I'm sorry, what?
Do you work for fun? You know that Facebook, Amazon,
Oh yeah, of course.
Apple, Netflix.
I do it for fun, but I take it seriously. So I don't do it like seriously on LeetCode, but I do it pretty seriously on AdCoder and Codeforces.
Wait, is that what you
And
asked,
also,
Anton?
I'm sorry, what?
Is that what you asked Anton? If he does it for fun or if he works for one of the FANG companies?
Yeah, because like like my question was dictated that from my thoughts that people that do so great in algorithms probably should work in that big 5 of companies in fun, because like
Yeah, man. Martin, what do you do for a living? I'm curious.
I'm a MLOps engineer,
Ah, that's awesome.
and
Cool.
actually I work in Korea, so I don't work for FANG.
Mm.
Anyway,
Do you
yeah,
want
that's it
to
for me.
work in FANG?
I don't know, like I'm happy now, so
Yeah, yeah. That's
what a big deal.
awesome. That's awesome. That's what's up. Cool. Thanks for sharing that solution, man. I'm actually gonna dig through that when I have a little bit more time.
Yeah. I believe this is the first time we've like done, like at least saw, like all solutions, all problems.
Yeah, yeah. It's exciting to be back, man. We've gone a long time without even solving the problems together, but it was nice to get back, and I want to keep doing this every single Saturday night. It's nice. It's nice to see everybody's solution. It's nice to see code in different languages, man. It's just I love it. I love it. So I'll keep hosting it on Saturday nights, and yeah, man,
Mhm.
we'll go from there.
Yeah,
Cool,
sure.
cool. Well, thanks everyone for coming. That was fun. Feel free to hit me up anytime and enjoy your Saturday night, or should I say Sunday morning now?
You too. You
Yeah.
too.
Have a good
Have a
one.
nice
everyone.
one. Bye bye.